Fact: women represent the majority of young university graduates.
Fact: women made up almost 1/4 of the science and engineering workforce, but close to 1/2 of the U.S. workforce in 1999.
Fact: only 39% of women graduated from a university STEM program in 2011.
Fact: for worldwide reading literacy testing scores, the average scores were dominated by female 4th graders.
Fact: the perception of what males and females are good at has the greatest influence on the choice of educational routes and achievement in different subject areas.
Fact: for 2007, there was a 9.3% difference favoring males for entering university.
Fact: achievement scores for subjects in schools are often equal between boys and girls. A lot of research has been done on the difference between male and female subject choice. First, researchers have found links to early socialization. Early socialization shapes a child's gender identity and their beliefs about gender domains. This can be linked to the differences in toys that children play with, to the types of books they read.
The companies who make these try to trick the girls into buying the pink stuff instead of stuff that boys want to buy, right? Yeah, so then why don't all the girls have to buy princesses? Some girls like superheroes, some girls like princesses, some boy like superheroes, some boy like princesses.
Young boys are more likely to read hobby books or information texts, whereas girls are more likely to read stories about people. Studies have found this to be correlated with the gender divide, where later in life boys show preference towards the sciences and girls towards languages. Secondly, there seems to be gendered subject images, or in other words, boys versus girls subjects. For instance, computer science has been viewed as a masculine subject, as it involves working with machines, which is related to the male gendered domain. Furthermore, due to the way it is taught, the tasks being somewhat abstract in their nature, and there being few opportunities for group work, which has been found to be favored by girls, is said to be offsetting to females. The last factor is peer pressure, and this may be applied to an individual if their choice is disapproved on by their peers.
Studies have shown that women in science and technology receive lower salaries, lower status, social isolation from peers, plus poor prospects for promotion and fewer opportunities for leadership than men. Another challenge is most science and engineering professors are males and they are more comfortable with male students. Mentors choose proteges depend on sex, race, and social class. Women entering graduate school programs were just as academically prepared as men, but the institutions lack social support.
Studies warn parents to be mindful of the chores that they give their children, as to not reinforce gender roles. An individual's attitudes and behaviors are molded by their environment, and it is often through a passive process that these gender roles and their stereotypes are learned and internalized.
In another article, it discussed increasing participation in physical education for females. Although some females do enjoy sport-based classes, it has been proven that this structure of class is more appealing to boys from dominant culture. This is believed to be true because boys are expected in society to be talented in these particular sports. So, as they're growing up, friends and family expose them to those sports and the boys become proficient in them. This is the opposite for girls. In society, it is emphasized that girls do sports that are individual or more artistic, meaning sports like figure skating or gymnastics. When girls enter physical education courses, they are often at a disadvantage because they have not been exposed to the sports that are often taught. When the classes are mixed gender, girls feel ashamed because they don't have the ability of their peers. The researchers aim to change physical education for girls by having a girls-only class and allowing them to choose the activities that they participated in. They wanted to inspire the girls to just love moving in general, and they didn't stick to one activity for too long. This way, if someone didn't enjoy the activity, the girls would still participate because they knew that they would be moving on to a different activity in the near future. There was a noticeable increased level of participation, investment, learning, accountability, pathways, and effort. Not only did they show up prepared for class, but they also took responsibility for their actions.
Why can't run like a girl also mean win the race?
There's an organization called Let's Talk Science. It's a free of charge organization and they have over 3,500 post-secondary students for volunteers. The volunteers go to schools for a period to do hands-on and minds-on activities with the students. The program also runs larger events. They bring students to McMaster campus to judge science fairs, for example. The Let's Talk Science is all across Canada and there are multiple locations here in Ontario.
One study looked at increasing participation of girls in engineering, math, and science. This program was called GEMS. In this program, they provided hands-on workshops for girls in middle schools. They really encouraged girls to self-explore and to make mistakes. One of the big ideas was to show these girls that science was cool. They wanted to take away the negative stereotype that science was for boys or even was nerdy. This program used grant money to help with transportation costs so that all students would be able to attend. When possible, the GEM program would set up for role models of women who were successful in math, science, and engineering to talk to the girls. As a result of this program, there was a 35% increase on average of interest in math, science, and technology when this program was over.
For the District School Board of Niagara, the elementary schools offer a program called Code of Hour, which develops computational skills that are important for 21st century learners. Coding works on problem-solving skills, creativity, and communication. When I went to the DSBN board meeting in January, there were students who talked about their experience with the Code of Hour. When one of the trustees asked who was interested in taking the computer program for post-secondary, majority of the girls raised their hand due to their interest in the Code of Hour.
The Guardian is a British national daily newspaper that has branched out as a leading voice in the international media. The Guardian presents an extensive timeline of the gender gap in education, displaying both local and global initiatives and findings.
One study looked at why female students make their career choices. They interviewed young girls and their parents to see why they stray from STEM courses. They found that girls often wanted nurturing jobs. Some girls even said that they wanted a glamorous job because they had been influenced by fashion or music. When it came to science, a lot of the girls did not have a high interest. They didn't find science very nurturing or glamorous. The media often tells us that girls need to focus on their appearance or beauty. When girls are constantly bombarded with this message, they are influenced to make it a career choice because they see it as being a priority. So with all of this information, it really isn't a surprise that girls stray from math, science, and technology when they're told they have to be glamorous, and they're influenced to think that science is nerdy, manly, and not nurturing. Parents said that they associated science and technology jobs with intelligence, and they didn't see their child as being smart enough to have a career in that field.
And the patella?
It's right there.
Okay, tell me about the patella.
Baby's elbow without kneecaps. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy that babies are born without kneecaps. And when do they start getting kneecaps?
They don't show up until 2 to 6 years old. Actually, babies are born with kneecaps, but they don't show up very well on X-ray because they are not ossified, which means hard bone.
But this idea could also be coming from the media. On TV, it's often shown that geeky people are the scientists. Women are often shown as being less intelligent and having jobs that are less significant. This article stresses that there needs to be a change in attitude. If parents can change the way that they stereotype their children and even assign gender roles, girls will have more confidence to try courses in the STEM field.